Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Intentional Healing, and I am Nicole Bridger. So today, somebody out there needs to hear this. I want to talk about why we stay in abusive relationships too long. I stayed far too long. I was in a really low place when I met my ex-husband. Gosh, I think I was 21, maybe. Still very heartbroken from the love of my life, at the time. And just in a really low place around, nobody would love me, or that I didn't deserve, or that I had to be something more than what I was, kind of desperately seeking love. And so energetically, I drew in my ex-husband. And on a spiritual level, this happens because you're holding on to some beliefs. I'm not lovable. I need to be different than I am to deserve love. And your spirit wants you to see that these are not true, that these are negative beliefs, and that it's just time to let them go. So energetically, like draws in like. So because I was vibrating at that place, that low place, I drew in my ex-husband. But let's come back to that, because let's talk about really what's happening. What were the thoughts? In the beginning, when I met him, I could see that he was struggling, and it helped me feel needed. It filled that void. He needs me. I can save him. I can help him. He struggles with substance abuse. And for those of you in that situation, there's nothing that you can do to fix someone. They have to want to do it themselves. And actually, by me always saving him and fixing things and doing things for him, I was actually enabling him to not get better. But to keep the focus on myself, it felt that sort of savior complex. If he needs me, then he'll stay with me. Then he won't leave me. But eventually, once it became damaging to me, because for those of you in an abusive relationship, sometimes when you're in it, you don't realize it's abusive. I knew that I was sad. I knew that I felt trapped. I would cry every day. But not until I started going to therapy afterwards did I hear the word abusive and realize that it was, because he never hit me, but definitely emotionally and verbally, the situation was very abusive. And once I got into that sort of damaging place, there was a voice for me that said, well, who else will love you? And a kind of feeling of shame that I wouldn't be able to find anything else, that I better stay with what I had. There was another voice that said, well, you spent this much time investing into this, you have to stay. And then when we decided to get married, there was a part of me that thought if we got married, then he would be better. And once we had gotten engaged, then I thought, oh, well, I can't back out now. Or once we had spent money on the wedding, too much money has been spent. I can't leave now. Some of us have that belief, that marriage is forever, that you have to stick it through. There is a kind of feeling of guilt there, of what you should do. And eventually it becomes familiar. It almost feels scarier to leave to face the unknown. And some of us even have a feeling like we deserve to be punished. I know I had a feeling like, well, I created this mess, I better clean it up. I chose this person, I better deal with it. And very much, putting all the blame and responsibility on my shoulders. But what was interesting about my situation that set me free was that when I got pregnant with my son, and my son was born, and the same behavior kept happening where my ex-husband would, go vanish for a few days doing drugs, and I was left at home. As soon as that started happening again, and I think my son was 6 or 8 months old, I could, for my son, see that my son did not deserve this. All those beliefs that I had about myself, that no one else would love me, that this was my doing, that I was, scared of the unfamiliar, they all vanished for my son. Of course my son deserved better. He had done nothing wrong. And in a way, it was my duty to protect my son from also being in an abusive situation. And it helped me to have the courage to get over those beliefs. I don't know if it was get over, but it just trumped those beliefs that kept me locked in there. It gave me the strength to do for my son what I couldn't do for myself. And for those of you that don't have that kind of awakening that's happening yet, but you are in agony every day, and you are detached from your soul, you are in pain, you're depressed, you feel like you are in jail, and that there's no hope. The interesting thing about when you actually start to write out the beliefs that are circling in your mind and become aware of these negative beliefs that are keeping you in a situation you know deep down that it's time to leave. What's happening on a soul level is that there's an opportunity here for you to know the truth. And the truth is that you are lovable just as you are. And of course, you deserve to be loved. But you first have to love yourself. You have to love yourself enough to give yourself that opportunity. And that is the journey. To forgive yourself, to love yourself, and to see yourself how the divine sees you, as beautiful, as perfect with all your imperfections. And to recognize that this situation came into your life because you were already holding on to these negative beliefs. And this is how you are going to learn the truth of who you are. I think, what if I had treated myself the way I treated my son? Of course, you deserve to be loved. Of course, you deserve to be forgiven. Of course, you are beautiful just as you are. And there is no should. There only is what is. And now I can sit here and I'm so grateful for the experience that I have been through with my ex-husband. That I now stand in a place where I do love myself and I honor myself and I listen to when my soul is speaking to me. And I can teach others how to do the same. And I have the most incredible son who I adore. We have a magical relationship together. I have learned resilience, compassion, forgiveness, deep forgiveness, not only for my ex-husband, but also for myself. And none of these things I could have learned without having that experience. Trusting that your life has gone exactly as it has meant to. Nothing wrong has happened. Only opportunities for growth and learning. But I really know how hard it is when you feel like you're drowning. And to just take little sips of air. To notice when you are holding on to a thought that feels bad, that you don't deserve better, that you have to stay because. And notice in your body when you're holding on to something negative, because it will feel bad. And your only job is to slowly nudge yourself over to thoughts that feel good. I can do this. Many other people have. I have a lot of support around me. Support will be found if I need it. And I love myself. I'm sending you so much love and compassion for your situation. Please reach out anytime. My website, NicoleBridger.com. That's also my Instagram, Nicole Bridger. And just slowly, slowly, love and compassion for yourself. I wish you a blessed day as always. Take care.